Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news, Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
I'm Tyler. And I'm James. We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
Swinging a line into left field. Pates will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone. SOSA's The Dugout is Chillicothe's premier indoor baseball and softball training facility designed to serve local baseball and softball players of all ages. The Dugout is equipped with our fully featured hit tracks, the next-gen data capture and simulation system providing athletes with real-time feedback with the capability of playing in any of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. The Dugout has a 70-foot by 12-foot batting and pitching cage, and every user has access to baseball and softball pitching machines, plyo wall and arm strength bands, pitching mounds and softball mats, multiple tees and hitting nets. Wall-to-wall AstroTurf, 285-inch TVs and Bluetooth speakers make the Dugout the place to be for all of our area baseball and softball players, no matter the age. Train year-round, improve your performance, and further develop your skills in a fun and competitive environment at SOSA's The Dugout. Located in the heart of downtown Chillicothe at 185 East Main Street. Visit our website at sosadugout.com to reserve a time today.
Welcome back into the Convocation Center here at Ohio University, where we had to take a quick one-day hiatus from our streaming coverage for OU to host the ranked Miami Redhawks in an instant classic last night.
Yeah, it really was a lot of fun to watch it. This place is electric. I've been lucky enough to be in here a couple times when I was really young to see this place pretty full. Looking at it last night on TV, that looked like it wasn't lacking anything in atmosphere, and obviously an incredible basketball game where Bobcats come up just literally a few inches on the rim short, but what an incredible basketball game that was for sure.
Yeah, our Carson Francis was front row in the action, so you'll hear about that more later. But even though our streaming coverage took a break, our area didn't, as the Circleville girls yesterday booked their ticket to this Final Four.
Yeah, no question. Well, first of all, Carson must not have been cheering hard enough to wish that ball in there at the end of regulation enough. But no, we'll give him a pass on that. You're exactly right. Circleville, congratulations. That's awesome. You know, I've said all along, Kenneth, on SOSA Overtime, I think the 7 divisions where we spread out a little bit and get some different opportunities, I think it's a game changer for Southeast Ohio. Throughout my 35-year career, it seems like Southeast Ohio has trouble getting that statewide respect. Slowly but surely, I think what you're going to see is you're going to see more of our programs not have to beat up on each other, but to spread out a little bit more and maybe get more opportunities. And start to play on that Final Four stage. You've seen it with the likes of a Fairland, Portsmouth girls, just to name a few. Now Circleville gets a chance. I know there's other girls programs we're going to highlight today too that have a chance to punch their ticket.
Yeah, as you said, we were talking about before the game, a lot of teams for us in action today. We'll, of course, be streaming this game and the following here at Ohio University, but the Uniota girls are in action, the Fairland and Portsmouth girls, as well as Eastern Megs and the Fayetteville girls, and I don't believe I'm missing anyone else.
I don't think you are. Like I said, four's already got the team in the Final Four. You mentioned Uniota in 3, Portsmouth and Fairland in different brackets of 5, and Fayetteville in 6, as well as Eastern Megs in 7. So that's exciting. A lot of opportunities for our Southeast teams to get a trip to that dream scenario in the Final Four.
Flipping it back to the streaming action today, we're starting out with the Chesapeake Panthers versus the Eastern Warriors in a district final matchup.
Yeah, what an incredible matchup. You know what's funny about this matchup, Kenneth, is if I go all the way back to early in the year, I was listening to John and Carson call the Chesapeake game down against Fairland, and then John and I had Eastern versus Fairfield early in the year, and from really early on, Chesapeake, I'd even go back to a regional championship game I had last year with Dewey here at the Conva. These are two teams that have been on my radar all year long in this division, so for them to collide here today with a trip to the Sweet 16 on the line, it just makes a lot of sense. You're talking about two really, really complete teams, well-coached teams. They're really deep. They come at you in a lot of different ways, and I think it should make for a really good basketball product. If you just like basketball and you don't really have a rooting interest today, I think you'll sit back and really, really enjoy this one.
Starting off with our lower seed in their red uniforms, we got the Eastern Warriors led by District Coach of the Year Rob Buechler, and I think that award was really shown off in their matchup against Zane Trace last week that we had on stream, and just the different defensive sets they ran, the use he got out of his bench players, and just how balanced they play as a team.
Well, listen, Coach Buechler is someone I've been just in awe of for a long, long time. Being a coach myself, he's been such a great mentor for those who have followed along, doing this profession. I can remember my playing days. He was coaching. When I started coaching, I coached against him. Then I get into media, and I continue to follow. Just unbelievable, the longevity and the consistency that he's brought to the program. And his kids, they execute really well. They're fundamental. They're tough. And so you talk about a lot of those culture foundation pieces. That's what you get with Coach Buechler. So what that means is come tournament time, they don't have to adjust who they are. They're already kind of tournament ready when they get on this stage.
For Eastern Brown, they're really a balanced team, but a few guys I like to point out: Matt Dick, first team All-District; Chase Pinkerton, first team All-District. You got Braxton Vance and Kane Donnelly who both got honorable mention in the district, or Vance got second team, and all these guys play such an important role to the team as a whole.
They do, and what happens is, and this is where I'm biased with the point guard position, what happens is when you have these teams that go 7, 8, 9 deep, I really feel like it has a lot to do with point guard play, and Eastern will get a little double threat there. I love Kane Dotson, his game, the junior point guard, and then Chase Pinkerton kind of strikes you more as a point forward because of his size and length and his versatility. But those two guys really, really get them in what they need to get into, and they share the basketball. And then this is a team that can come at you in a lot of different ways. As you said, Matthew Dick down in the post gives them a chance to play from the inside out. He gives them a post presence. And then they have guys that can really space the floor with their ability to shoot it, led by that great point guard play. So balance is certainly one of the words that comes to mind when you want to break down the Warriors.
Yeah, and as we said, their last matchup, a 43-39 win in the district semi versus Zane Trayson, where they really showed a lot of versatility in that game, whether it be Jaden Florence coming off the bench, giving them really good minutes, a couple steals, a few threes, or just overall a team coming out in a 2-3 zone that you really haven't seen a lot from them, and they execute it so well. It just shows the discipline of this roster.
Well, the versatility, well coached, the experience. You're right, with the Zane Trace group, really, really talented group. I thought the difference in that game ended up being Eastern's depth. You know what I mean? Like, obviously Zane Trace is as good as anybody, there at the top of their roster. But as certain things started to hit and certain factors started to play into that game, I thought the depth of Eastern started to wear on Zane Trace just a little bit. And that'll be a big factor today because obviously Chesapeake can come at you in a hurry with tempo. So the ability to get contributions from a lot of different guys helps you keep up with the high-powered Panthers.
Eastern will look for their first district title championship since 2010, and flipping over to our home team in their home whites, as Lou Horvath will announce later, led by head coach Stephen Ader, who this season picked up his 300th career win, and just an impressive team up and down, full of athleticism. One guy I think you really got to point out, Maddox Kazee, the junior 1,000-point scorer, district player of the year for District 13, and just him and all the other talent in this lineup has helped push Chesapeake to where they are today.
No question about it. When you start talking all-around talent, or sometimes in basketball we like to use the more modern term of the two-way player, the ability to shoot it and score it on one end, the ability to really lock you down on the other. Maddox Kazee certainly be at the top of that list. If not at the top, certainly in the top 5 of, I don't care what division we're talking, across the entire Southeast District, really. Yeah, he's really, really talented. And then you surround him with the length and athleticism that they have. They can really, really get after you on the defensive end. They can do it in the quarter court. They can stretch the floor if they want to a little bit. They can trap you a little bit. They all rebound the basketball, which can jumpstart their break. It's really about them getting out, getting in transition, getting in secondary break, sharing the basketball the way they do so well. Like, obviously, you don't have 2 1,000-point scorers in the program at the same time if you're not sharing the basketball. And, they can really, really go.
Yeah, as you said, a thing that I really see a lot with this team, as you pointed out, is just the unselfishness of all these players. And Maddox Kazee specifically playing the forward position, shares the ball a lot. Caden Perkins does a great job at the point guard role. Carson Frecka had 4 assists in their last game, just dumping it off when he got doubled and just finding the right pass. And then you surround that with the athleticism of Philip Thacker, John Cooper Barker, 2 really good football players. And then later in the season, you've seen Chesapeake open up their bench a little more, where earlier in the season you'd see them run a little bit of 6 or 7 players, but then now you get good minutes from Dennis Scarberry, Andrew Isaacs, Andy Chapman, and just that helps the depth of this team so much, especially in a game like this where Eastern Brown will open up their bench.
Yeah, it really does, and allows them, what it does is it allows them to play with the tempo they want to play, because they're obviously at their very, very best. If you look at their only losses on the year, one of the characteristics of those games is they've been able to, the opponent's been able to slow Chesapeake down just a little bit more. When Chesapeake's able to get out and go, man, they can start to put point total up that a lot of opponents just can't keep up with. I'm glad you mentioned the stat about Carson Frecka. Keep an eye on that today. The ability to pass out of the post, what we talk about, it's kind of an old school thing. The Carson Frecka Matthew Dick matchup today, it's kind of old school. It's going to be the battle for the paint and the ability to throw it in there, not just to score points, but to play off of that. Maybe it's a cut, maybe it's an inside out, but the 4 assists coming from him with the talent Chesapeake has, that's huge, because that tells you that they're playing inside out and they're getting high percentage looks.
Chesapeake will look to repeat as district champions in this contest. We'll cut to a break, and when we're back, we'll send it down to Lou Horvath for your starting lineups. You're watching District Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the hometown advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly, or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Respect for those who are serving and those who have served to protect our democracy as we play our national anthem. Commissioner Board of Control, Ohio High School Athletic Station, and the Southeast District Athletic Board both issue a cordial welcome to you to this D5 district final between the Warriors of Eastern Brown and the Panthers of Chesapeake. Please remember the two teams here are friendly rivals as athletes, all trying to get to the state final. The officials assigned to our game have been selected by the basketball coaches in Ohio through a system approved by our Board of Control. Our officiating team this afternoon, Chase Hiles, A.J. Collins, my third favorite nephew, Kevin Schwartzel, and the alternate today will be Kyle Kennard. The athletes, coaches, and officials are guests of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. You're requested to guard them as such and so treat them in keeping with the ideals of good sportsmanship. Remember, just as you expect sportsmanship on the court, they expect sportsmanship in the stands. Hey, this is March Madness. They'll look for a calendar. But I'll tell you what P. Floyd told me once just a minute ago. It's basketball 30. Let's go to our starting lineups. First, for the Warriors of Eastern Brown, a 5'9" junior guard, number 1, Kane Dotson. He stands 6'2". He's a junior. He's a guard. He's number 10, Chase Pinkerton. At forward is 6'2", a junior, number 22, Carter Cluxton. A senior forward, he's 6'2", he's number 32, Braxton Vance. And at the post, standing 6'5", a junior, number 55, Matthew Dick. Rob Buchholz, the head coach, this is by Tim Boone, Drew Kokos, Ryan Boone, John Boone, and Heath Unker. Now introducing, wearing their home whites, the Panthers of Chesapeake. A 6-foot senior guard, number 1, John Cooper Barker. He's a guard, he's 5'10", he's a senior, he's number 4, Caden Perkins. At shooting guard is 6'3", a junior, number 22, Maddox Kazee. At forward, he's 6'3", he's a senior, number 24, Phil Thacker. And a 6'5", senior forward, number 33, Carson Frecka. Steve Aders, the head coach. This is by Nathan Copley, Nick Gubbertson, and Nathan Eason.
As Lou says, it's about to be basketball 30 here in the Convo. Both teams running with the same lineup that have brought them success so far in the playoffs.
Yeah, exciting time here coming up on tip, playing for the district championship. Two proud programs, two really good basketball teams working on great seasons, and should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to sitting here calling it with you.
It'll be Matthew Dick and Maddox Kazee lined up for the tip-off. And Eastern will win the tip.
Chesapeake going to come out, match up in the man-to-man. They'll really use a lot of athleticism and really get after the basketball.
Dick has it near a wing, handoff to Dotson. Pass over to Vance.
Pretty good spacing and patience from Eastern. Going to try to establish the post, but the ball pressure makes it so difficult, Kenneth, to get into what you want to get into.
Vance finds space, puts up the mid-range shot, and knocks it in for the deuce.
Yeah, I love the versatility and the aggressiveness of the senior Vance. Sometimes against ball pressure in today's basketball, you got to be good enough to play through contact and create space. He did that, knocked it down.
Caden Perkins, handoff to Kazee. Near side corner, John Cooper Barker. Two screen him over to Thacker. Thacker throws it up to Frecka, but the pass is offline. Be Eastern Brown basketball.
Yeah, really nice job, Eastern Brown, fronting the post, good ball pressure. Kenneth, we talked a lot about the double three-point line affecting the shooters. I think it's affected some of the offenses, like in that particular case, trying to throw that lob pass from way out on the floor. That ball's got to travel a pretty long distance.
Dotson finds the cutting Cluxton, and he lays it in off the glass.
Outstanding execution again against ball pressure. Another way to go about it is worked out against them with the back door. They cleared out the one side, delivered a nice bounce pass for the layup.
Kazee pulls up far side elbow, can't connect. Carter Cluxton hauls in the rebound. Dotson gets to him, he feeds up over to Dick. Dick loses the ball. Off of Eastern, it'll go back to Chesapeake.
Yeah, we talked about how important the post game is going to be. Both teams fronting the post hard. That time it was Thacker that ended up coming over on the great help side to help cause the turnover.
Caden Perkins will bring it up for the Panthers. Work the ball around, off-ball screens to Kazee, over to Perkins. Perkins, far side wing, crosses over, drives in, lays it up, can't connect. Kazee, offensive rebound, kick out, John Cooper Barker, he'll drive in, he'll put it up, in and out. And they'll get Barker on the foul.
Yeah, great start for Eastern here. I felt like in watching film, Kenneth, I think Eastern will be just fine in the quarter court more times than not, as long as they rebound the basketball. They're well schooled, they do a good job. If I'm Chesapeake, I'm looking for opportunities to get this game out in space a little bit. It all starts with the defensive end.
Dotson feeds to Cluxton at the elbow. Dick near side wing. Feeds to Pinkerton. Pinkerton hop step, lays it up. In and out. Matthew Dick on the follow, can't find it. Maddox Kazee will pull in the rebound, and they'll get Cluxton on a foul.
Yeah, missed opportunity for Eastern there. Had 2 point-blank looks to go up 6-0, just couldn't get it to go. And that's a factor throughout the day. I mean, look, it's hard for us to tell up here or maybe watching on your screen there, but the length of Chesapeake can really change some of those shots at the rim.
Warriors up 4-0, 5:14 left to play in the first. Kazee feeds down to Frecka. Frecka will go to work on Dick. Frecka gets it out, Kazee. Thacker, he'll drive, he'll spin, he'll try to feed down to John Cooper Barker. Pass is broken up, but it'll roll out of bounds off the Warriors.
Yeah, nice defense there for Eastern. I thought they got the post feed for Frecka. It was just a little bit off his spot. Like to see him get established a little deeper than that.
Kazee will handle the baseline out of bounds, gets it into Perkins. We're going to kick ball, stay with the Panthers.
That's where Eastern's so good in the quarter court. They're well schooled, they're active, usually never going to find them out of position.
Panthers will get it underneath again. Feed into Thacker. Thacker gets it down Kazee. Kazee under the basket, gets it out. Perkins, pump fake, drive in, mid-range pull-up, knocks it in.
Pull up for the deuce. Caden Perkins.
Yeah, peek on the board there, good sign. Perkins gets that perimeter shot going. He's so good off the dribble, it makes him tough to defend.
Perkins, a first-team all-district selection this season. Cluxton pulls up from the elbow, front iron. Caden Perkins hauls in the rebound. He's trapped, but he gets it over to Frecka.
Pretty good transition defense. That'll be important for Eastern. Keep Chesapeake in the quarter court offensively.
Perkins pulls it back out towards the logo. Over to Kazee. Feed down Frecka. Frecka posted it up, hop step, kick it out. Caden Perkins corner, pulls the three, knocks it in.
Triple.
That's good defense, just better offense. What's nice about this post matchup is you won't always have to send help like a lot of opponents do because you have an okay matchup to guard. That time defense was there and he just made a tough shot.
Perkins on a 5-0 run of his own as Matthew Dick lays it in off the cut.
Matt Dick.
Yeah, great execution. The midline about a half second late. Tried to play the ball and just missed it.
Perkins far side wing, crosses over, drives in, kick out. Kazee, he'll pull the three. Too strong. And they'll get Frecka on the foul.
Yeah, good inside position. One and done will be a big stat for Eastern's defense today.
That's his first.
Chesapeake can really get relentless on that offensive glass.
Dennis Scarberry in, replacing Barker.
Again, if Chesapeake's more than capable of knocking down that triple. We've seen that this year, but I think if you're Eastern, as long as they're contested, you'd live with that rather than trying to defend them at the rim.
Chesapeake providing some full court pressure here. They get it to Raymer. Raymer's contested, gets it to Vance. Vance loses the ball, puts it up, in and out. Matthew Dick on the follow, can't find it. Matthew Dick again. Finally hauled in by Scarberry.
Great job of Dotson and Pinkerton not getting sucked up, and then that leads the transition defense back.
Perkins spins, turns around Kazee. Tries to lay it up, cannot find it. Jaden Florence will haul in the rebound for Eastern.
Yeah, both teams having trouble finishing at the rim. A lot of physicality and length there.
Well, a foul on the floor.
Yeah, just a little bit of a frustration there with Kazee. I'm sure he felt like he was hit a little bit on the other end, and then he comes down and gets out there. It's just where you gotta, he did a good job of walking away and composing himself there, just get settled into the game.
Pinkerton will handle out of the box set. Gets it into Florence, far corner. Florence trying to find somewhere to go. Tight pressure from Scarberry.
Yeah, you mentioned Scarberry and how Chesapeake's depth has come on. Terrific on-ball defender.
Pinkerton will drive in, pull up, floater, can't find it. Carson Frecka hauls in the rebound.
Yeah, again, just let them play a little bit there. He's able to clear some space on the baseline drive, but unable to convert.
Thacker off the screen, gets it over to Scarberry, far corner, back to Thacker. Thacker feed in to Frecka. Frecka will go to work. Frecka kick out. Thacker's three-pointer, in and out. They'll pick up Kazee on another foul. That's his second already.
Yeah, great box out, and like I said, early decision time here. I expect him to probably get him for 133, and then the decision will come in the second quarter. But outstanding box out on the backside.
We'll see Isaacs check in for him alongside Andy Chapman for the first time.
For the Warriors, Sam Raymer.
If you're Eastern, I would think you love the tempo to this point. The physicality doesn't bother Eastern. I think where Chesapeake could really hurt them is if the game got going too crazy up and down. Eastern doesn't mind running a little bit, but in this matchup, I would say they like where this game's being played tempo-wise right now.
Pinkerton feeds over to Vance. Vance, far corner, Pinkerton. Drives baseline. Bounce pass over to Florence. Florence's three, in and out. Andy Chapman hauls in the rebound.
Yeah, great position by Chapman.
Thacker fake pass, drives in, crosses over, lays it up, can't find it, but he's fouled.
Florence had a great look down here on the offensive end. He's a great shooter, couldn't get it to go. That's the first time we've watched Chesapeake get a little bit of a numbers advantage in transition, and that gives our viewers this afternoon, if you're not familiar with Chesapeake, how dynamic they can get in the open court there as you see Thacker on a trip to the free throw line.
Can't knock in the first.
Here in the first quarter, shooting percentage down a little bit. Both teams shooting around 25-30%.
Thacker knocks in the second. Thacker, a West Virginia State University commit to play tight end on the gridiron.
You can certainly see that, his strength and athleticism.
Full court pressure here from the Panthers. Dick hands off to Raymer.
Great discipline from Eastern. Handle the pressure, but don't get baited into tempo.
Vance near side wing, he'll drive in, he'll kick out. Florence puts up the three, too strong.
Good box out from Isaacs on the backside to let the ball go out of bounds. So now Chesapeake tied at 6. Let's see if they will hold for the last shot. They're also going to have the possession error, so this gives them a chance to double up on possessions if they can execute time and score.
Perkins brings it up for the Panthers. Just under 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And as you said, looks like they'll hold for a last shot.
I would say right around 8 or 9, they'll go a little bit here.
Perkins takes 2 screens, crosses over, drives in. Chapman's three, knocks it in. Andy Chapman knocks in the three to end the first. 9-6 Panther lead. You're watching Ohio High School District Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Our stream partly presented by Nice Auto Center. Visit niceautocenter.com for more information. Also presented in part by G&J Paving. G&J Paving, serving Southern Ohio for over 30 years. And Centerpoint Church. Centerpoint believes in investing in the next generation and is proud to support high school sports across the region. Visit centerpoint.church for more information and service times. Centerpoint Church. We join you back in here at the Convocation Center as the Panthers holding a 9-6 lead after a very tough defensive first quarter.
Yeah, thank you so much, those sponsors, making this fun stuff down here at the Convo possible. Ken, what a great first quarter, just as we expected. Eastern trying to win tempo. Thought they played a near perfect quarter other than maybe not being able to convert at the rim a little bit. And then how about that execution at the end? Chapman steps out and knocks down the three to give them the 9-6 advantage. Thought Scarberry, Isaacs, and Chapman really good minutes off the bench to allow Peak to go 8 deep.
Perkins feed to Isaacs. Isaacs has it for the Panthers.
Coach deciding to keep Kazee on the bench here with the 9-6 advantage with the 2 fouls. Let's see how he handles that throughout the entire 8 minutes.
Perkins crossover, feed out Isaacs. Takes the screen from Chapman. Tight pressure from Kane Dotson. Ball is knocked away, gets it back. Perkins three-pointer and knocks it in.
Triple, Kate Perkins.
Good effort there from Andrew Isaacs to stay with the play.
Yeah, and I like the way you said that. Just stayed with it because his ability to handle the basketball frees Perkins up a little bit as a scorer, which obviously he can do over 1,000 points in his career. He's off to a good start with 8.
Vance near wing, drives in, stops, puts it up. Can't find it, followed by Kane, dots it up and good.
On the follow.
Nobody found a body on Kane Dotson.
Yeah, right man, right spot, just stays with it. And those are the types of plays that allow you just to kind of maintain some of these runs that Chesapeake can go on.
Scarberry will hand off to Thacker. Thacker spins. He'll pull it back out. Chesapeake patient with the basketball here in the second quarter.
Yeah, we talked about this in the Waverly Circleville game the other night. Two ways you can control tempo, sometimes with your offense, sometimes it's just your ability to guard in the quarter court. Eastern doing a good job here.
Chapman finds the cutting Thacker. Thacker puts it up, can't find it. Kane Dotson feed up to Dick in transition. Dick can't haul it in. And it ends up in the hands of Dennis Scarberry for Chesapeake.
Yeah, you can see what he was looking at there, but that was a tough ask to ask your big fella to catch that on the run and lay it in. Tough catch.
Perkins crossover, drives in, mid-range pull-up, no good. Matthew Dick hauls in his third rebound. Vance drives in, Vance puts it up and lays it in through the foul. Vance will have the line for the three-point play.
Yeah, Vance's second field goal here in the early going. Going to get a chance for the old-fashioned three. And nice job of Eastern coming off of that three-pointer to end the quarter. Settling back in here in the second quarter. Now at the free throw line, chance to get back within one.
Vance, the second team all-district selection, lays it in. 1 point Chesapeake lead with 5:36 left to play in the second quarter. Isaacs is trapped, tries to get it to Chapman, knocks it off the backboard. Vance pushing in transition, handoff Dotson. Pinkerton drives baseline, feeds down. Cluxton pulls up for the mid-range. Can't find it. Fight over the rebound, and Andy Chapman hauls it in. Chesapeake with numbers, Isaac, Scarberry. Can't lay it in, but they'll get Dotson on the foul.
Yeah, interesting sequence there. I think Eastern felt like there was a combination on the court here through some of the foul trouble that they could apply some pressure. So they were picking and choosing, come away with a turnover. But again, the inability to finish around the rim. If you lose your floor balance, Chesapeake will make you pay on the other end in a hurry, and that's what you end up seeing. They're fortunate that they're just sending to the line, not giving up a layup.
Scarberry knocks in the first. A junior that we've seen play extended minutes this season. And also, as you talk about the foul trouble, we'll see Kazid check back into the game with 2 fouls.
Yeah, it looked like that was about the way they had planned it. They got him at the 133 mark in the first quarter, and then they were going to try to buy a couple minutes here. Experienced player, got to understand how to play through foul trouble, be aware of it.
Scarberry's second free throw, front iron. Braxton Vance hauls in the rebound. Kane Dotson pushing, ends up in the hands of Scarberry. Scarberry feed down, and they'll call the foul on the floor before the pass.
Yeah, what a big-time spark Scarberry's giving. He's the one to poke that ball away there, and again, a fortunate foul in transition. We could have had back-to-back layups. Instead, we had a 1 of 2 from the line, and now an OB under because of the 2 open court fouls.
Kazee will handle it underneath. Scoreboard here at the Convocation Center trying to tell us it's overtime.
Well, they're still locked into last night's OT thriller, evidently.
Kazee, long inbound to John Cooper Barker. Perkins over to Kazee. We'll see a 2-3 look here from the Warriors. Perkins kick out Barker. Back to Perkins. Perkins, top of the key, 3, too short. Yeah. Eastern basketball with 4:40 left to play in the half.
And you can see that it's good coaching there. Again, the 2 lines, it's pushing these shooters off to the deeper range. He steps back up in there a little bit. He's open at the regular three-point line. It's a much higher percentage shot.
Raymer tries to get it to Florence, but pass is intercepted in transition. Raymer thought it was a clean block, but they'll call the foul. Perkins will go to the line.
Foul or not, that was an athletic contest for sure. Sam Raymer there at the rim. But again, what's been the formula here over the last 3 to 4 game minutes? Chesapeake starting to poke the ball away in the open court and getting fast break opportunities.
Yeah, as you said, a good job there by Frecka, just stepping in the way of the pass and intercepting it. 1,000-point scorer at the line, in and out.
I thought that was a really good pass over the top, too. That's an underrated play. I mean, he's throwing that ball about 50 55 feet in the air, right on target, over the top.
For Dodson and Vance.
13-11 lead, barring the second free throw from Perkins. Knocks it in. Extends it to 4 points for the Panthers.
9 for Perkins here in the first half.
Perkins started the game on a 5-0 run of his own to open scoring for the Panthers.
That was a 2-2-1 zone look, back into man in the quarter court.
Pinkerton going to work, feed out to Cluxton. Cluxton's mid-range, knocks it in.
Braxton Vance with the pop.
All kinds of contact off the dribble. Almost could call a double foul. Nonetheless, just play through, and one guy goes to the floor, knock down a jumper.
Kazee fakes, turns around, feed back out to Perkins. He'll slow it down here for the Panthers. 3:30 left to play here in the half. Barker, handoff to Kazee. Kazee off the screen. Perkins drives in, kick out Barker to Kazee. Kazee pulls the three. Too short. Roll out of bounds. It'll be Eastern basketball.
Yeah, just outstanding defense. Going to flatten out a little bit against the weave action and just absolutely refuse not to let Chesapeake turn downhill. As a result, they're going to give up some perimeter shots and so far at Chesapeake, they've shot it with pretty good percentage overall. But a lot of that do with Perkins and then obviously the hit from Chapman in the corner. But I feel like Eastern's done a pretty good job of protecting the paint.
Raymer gets it over to Pinkerton. Raymer feeds over to Florence. Feed down, Matt Dick. Dick at the elbow. Florence drives baseline, puts it up, blocked by Thacker. But what an excellent job for Matthew Dick to follow.
Good patient possession, and Eastern back in front now. They've got the game right where they want it in terms of the low scoring. A little bit more of a quarter court feel to it.
Barker far side wing, over to Thacker. Thacker will pull the three. Can't find it. Carter Cluxton hauls in the board as Pinkerton pushes in transition, spins, lays it up. Can't connect on the runner, and it'll roll out of bounds off the Warriors.
Good attack and transition, got it all the way to the rim. Couldn't get it to fall. Good hustle on the follow, just knocked it out of bounds. Coming up on 2 minutes here. It's an important 2 minutes for Eastern to finish strong here. Keep the tempo where they want it. Going to use a little token pressure here.
Carson Frecka feed over Thacker. Thacker fakes the pass, spins around, puts it up. High off glass, rolls around and in. Athletic play there from Philip Thacker.
Athletic is right. Nice soft touch on the spin move up high off the glass.
Raymer ball's poked by Scarberry, ends up in the hands of Florence. He'll pull the three from the top of the key. Back iron, hops high off it and in. I can't believe it.
Hey, they all count. You'll certainly take it.
Caden Perkins feeds over to Thacker. Frecka, he'll go baseline. Going to work on Dick, two, draw to him. Frecka, feed out Scarberry, he'll drive. Frecka going to work under the basket. Puts it up, can't find it.
1 minute.
And they'll get John Cooper Barker on the foul.
Yeah, look, the consistency's been the physicality that they're going to let them play with. It's been off the dribble. It's been in the post. They're both basically going to let the defense bang. They're going to let the offense kind of lower and go back at them, and you're going to have to finish through contact if you're going to play in the one-on-one scenario.
Just under a minute left to play here in the first half. Warriors holding an 18-16 lead over the Panthers. See Isaacs and Chapman check back in for the Panthers. Isaac providing tight pressure on Florence. Florence drives baseline, puts it up, can't connect off the glass. Followed by Cluxton is no good. Scarberry hauls in the rebound. Perkins drives up the floor, and they'll find Florence on the foul.
That's 6 points that comes to mind. Through all the physicality, there's actually been 3 fouls in the open court called this quarter that Chesapeake probably wish the whistle would have been swallowed.
1,000-point scorer, Caden Perkins will return to the line. Officials having a conversation here.
I think it's on the team fouls. They just come back and signaled in that was just 4 on the team side, which is going to change it to an out of bounds. Now Perkins is asking, was the foul not low enough for it to be an OB under? I think that's what he was signaling to.
Chesapeake will get it from the sideline.
So huge. That's a good foul there for Eastern. Saves another 2 points and doesn't even get to the free throw line yet.
Back to his own look here for the Eastern Brown Warriors. High ball pressure from Dotson. Panthers looking to hold for last shot. Kazee down to Thacker. Thacker pump fake up. Blocked by Dick. Ball will roll out of bounds. It'll stay Panther basketball. 3.7 left to play.
Yeah, great hustle over here near side. We'll see if that comes back to haunt Eastern's inability to wrap that possession up. Going to give Chesapeake another chance at it.
Dotson's hustle taking out a whole row of chairs on the sideline. Scarborough inbound with 3.7. Perkins pump fake, step back, puts up the long range 3 off the glass.
That ends the first half.
18-16 Warrior lead after 2. We'll cut to a break and we'll give you our thoughts from the half. You're watching Ohio High School District Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network, whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
2 quarters have come and gone here at the Convo as Eastern Warriors holding an 18-16 lead over the Chesapeake Panthers.
Yeah, what a great first half. It was just it was back and forth. I felt like Eastern coming in with the game plan and as always so well coached, so well prepared, and then it's the basketball IQ starting at the point guard position and really spreading throughout the entire team. They know exactly what it is they're trying to do in terms of when they want to push, when they want to hold back. And as a result, they've been able to put the game at the 18-16 pace that I would think would completely favor them in today's matchup. They've been able to take care of the basketball for the most part. They've even been able to give what I had down in my notes here, 3 intelligent open court fouls that led maybe to just a free throw or a couple side out of bounds. And that's kept Chesapeake from getting on those spurts where they can start to pull away from you. As far as Chesapeake goes, they got 9 from Perkins. I thought the foul trouble to Kazee really broke his rhythm a little bit. Eastern size and physicality has really made it tough on Chesapeake in the paint. And as you study film on Chesapeake throughout the year, the times they've struggled, it's been when teams have been able to get them in this type of tempo and force them to play a little bit more quarter at a time, if you will, instead of being like, up and down, where they're much more athletic and much more difficult to handle.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the size for Eastern, and you mentioned it early in the game, just such a disciplined team. One thing that I think has been a difference so far is just finishing those possessions on defense. Eastern out-rebounding Chesapeake 19-10 so far. And once again, want to thank you to the Ohio University staff for providing us with the official stats at halftime.
Well, no, there's no doubt about it. It gives you a great perspective of the game. And, to go along with our notes, that makes a lot of sense because, when you talk about possessions, how do you win extra possessions? You win turnover battle, you win rebounding battle. And you want to try to keep them out of the open court. A great way to do that is to make sure that you're crashing the offensive glass, but you're doing it with great floor balance. And that, again, comes back to that high IQ of the point guards. You've seen Dotson and Pinkerton several times not getting baited in to all the activity down low. They kept the floor balance, and as a result, I can only think of a handful of times where Chesapeake's been able to throw the ball out over the top and get any sort of tempo at all.
Yeah, leading the rebounding for them, Cluxton and Dick, who have both just also provided such excellent jobs on the defense and offense. Matt Dick just being a presence inside and just affecting shots. By, as we said about Union's Dawson Mitchell the other day, just being down there with that size just can affect the offensive player's mind of when they want to put the shot up, how they want to put the shot up. And then Cluxton on the offensive end, we saw him lay one in on a follow and then take an early 2000s NBA long range two, and just excellent play so far from those two.
Yeah, what happens down low defensively is when you're able to just kind of be a presence in the paint, the physicality, you obviously today's game is very physical, so the bumps around the rim, the ability just to let the shooter know you're there. You don't always have to send help when you have a defender like that, so it allows you to stay home on some shooters like Perkins. Overall, Chesapeake is shooting 33% from the three-point line, but I feel like Eastern probably will live and die with that in spurts. Obviously, Perkins has the 9 points to lead, but if you told Coach Buechler coming in that you'd hold Kazee to 0 and Thacker to 3, you'd probably sign up for that in the first half. But on the other side, would you not be sitting in the Chesapeake locker room right now? And if you had those same numbers, you'd hear that you're only down 2. You'd feel pretty good, like you still had a chance to come back and kind of redeem in the third quarter a little bit.
Yeah, we mentioned before the game, just the bench depth that has grown and become so much better this season for Chesapeake as it went from going to 6 to 8, as we said, later in the season. I thought Dennis Scarberry provided some really good minutes, as you mentioned, his 3 steals that led to breakaways, and then Andrew Isaacs and Andy Chapman knocking down the 3 to end the first quarter. It's providing energy and defensive and offensive play off the bench.
Yeah, no question. Those 3 were really good in their own way. Chapman rebounding the ball. Chapman hit the big 3 at the end of the first quarter. When Isaac's able to come in and just give a little bit of ball handling, it allows you to move Perkins around as a scorer. And then Scarberry, boy, can he really get after it on the defensive end. He can really pressure the basketball and jumpstart some things. So I would think they're all going to need to be a factor probably in one more sequence in the second half here as well. We'll see what happens with foul trouble.
Yeah, I'd love to see a little bit more interior pressure from Chesapeake this quarter as coming into the half, points from the paint, 12 for Eastern Brown and only 2 for Chesapeake in a spot that I thought has been really good for them all season, both whether it be Frecka with such a nice touch or both Perkins and Thacker and Kazee on the drive being so talented, and just something that you want to look for in the second half.
Well, I think first of all, you come right out and you want to get Kazee going. You want to run something that allows him to get the ball in an advantageous spot on the court where he can go to work, maybe get an easy layup, a drive, maybe get to the free throw line, whatever it is. We've talked about it the whole convo week. How do you get a best player going? They just need to see the ball go through the rim, right? They're used to scoring big, so once you get their rhythm, the confidence goes up. Then that's a huge key for Chesapeake here early third quarter.
So if you're Coach Ader, what are you talking about to your team at this half break?
Well, I think the biggest thing is not to panic. We watched this, and it reminds me a lot of the Waverly-Circleville game that Carson and I had just the other night, where you when teams are trying to slow you down and teams make you play a little bit uncomfortable, you got to become comfortable in the uncomfortable. Trust in who you are, trust in what you do, and know that if you continue to pressure, if you continue to get out in the open court, if you continue to sprint the floor, it'll come. You know, it's been proven this year. It just takes 2 or 3 minutes, and we watched that the other night when Circleville was able to go. Now, here's the thing. On the other side, if you're Eastern, if you come out and you can win the first 3 or 4 minutes here and you can stay ahead in this basketball game, the pressure starts to crank up a little bit, and you can make that team that likes to play fast become a little antsy. And then all of a sudden, maybe they start to make some poor decisions where they start trying to force the action.
I really enjoyed the zone that Coach Buechler had his team running out of late in that second quarter, just pulling some creativity out of the bag of a team that is normally a man-centered team on defense.
Well, what happens in those defenses, sometimes it can be a soft man or easy, like you said, like a little bit of a zone look. But really what they're doing is they get really loose there in the dribble gap, and they're just not going to allow the ball downhill. When they went to the weave action, notice how they just flattened out, and they absolutely were not going to let Chesapeake turn the corner. As a result, Chesapeake got a couple threes up top. I felt like they settled for some off the college line. I even watched their coaching staff a couple times telling their shooters, you can see with their mannerisms that you scoot in, and that's a factor. So that could be another adjustment you make at the half, where if Chesapeake moves the ball well and gets their feet set, I see a couple opportunities to maybe hit some threes at the top of the key is where they can get some of their cleanest looks.
And then for Chesapeake defensively, do you think it's more of just finishing those possessions that Eastern Brown's hitting these second and third chance points, or is there a switch you'd like to see defensively here from them in the second half?
Yeah, well, obviously you look up there, you're holding a team like Eastern 18 points. You don't hate the way you've guarded, but again, to your point, if you can, how do you jumpstart the break? You cause turnovers or you defensive rebound the ball well. Okay, and if you can do those two things, that's how you get out in transition. So I don't hate the way they've guarded, but yeah, there's some things that you would like to see the defensive end transition into a little quicker offense. Again, I don't want to make too big a deal out of it. The 3 possessions where Eastern used a really high IQ foul, even those types of things can slow the tempo, because what it does is it doesn't allow Chesapeake to get in those 2-minute spurts where the game starts becoming a track meet.
Well, as you said, you split at the line, and that's turning 2 easy layups in transition to only 2 points.
And it just slows the game down, right? When a basketball game goes to the free throw line, everything just kind of stops, and it slows down a little bit.
Eastern will start with possession here to start the second half. Kazee pokes the ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Eastern. They'll inbound in front of their bench.
Yeah, good to now. Remember, Eastern started the game with a little bit of a backdoor look and a little bit of one-on-one play down the middle. See how they look to use Chesapeake's aggressiveness against them.
Vance has it at the corner, puts it up, can't find the mid-range jumper. Rebound hauled in by Thacker. Thacker pass ahead to Perkins, drives in, feed down Frecka. Frecka, foul on his attempt, he'll go to the line.
There's a great illustration of who Chesapeake is, who they want to be today. Get the defensive stop and then get out and go. They throw the ball out over the top. Guards running the wings hard. Then Frecka going with what we call the rim run. He's right down the middle of the court. Gets rewarded, now going to get to the free throw line.
Has a special Mentric all-district selection, knocks in the first, and as you said, there were a few looks there that I think multiple other teams that we've seen would have taken, but just the unselfishness of Chesapeake to take that extra pass every possession.
No question, and that's Frecka's first point of the afternoon.
Second attempt off the front iron. Kane Dotson hauls in the rebound. Now Pinkerton handling for Eastern Brown. Crosses over off the screen from Vance. Feed out. Cluxton. Screen from Matt Dick on his right. Matt Dick will handle. Vance hands off to Pinkerton. Pinkerton spins through, puts it up, in and out. Caden Perkins hauls in the rebound. Parker pushes it, feed over Kazee. Kazee baseline, puts it up, can't find the floater. Rebound finally hauled in by Matt Dick, his 6th of the night.
Yeah, another open court opportunity, couldn't get it to go.
18-17 Warrior lead. Just over a minute through in this third quarter.
Helps in a game plan like this, having the 2 point guards, basically is what they are on the court with Dotson and Pinkerton.
Pinkerton will drive, hop step through traffic, puts it up, gets his own follow, and he'll be fouled.
2 straight possessions where Pinkerton's been really aggressive to the rim. Had a really clever move on the previous possession and just couldn't finish that time. Draws the contact. Looks like it's going to be on the floor.
As you said, they'll call her on the floor, so Dick will handle from the baseline. Dotson feed over. Scarberry poked the pass out of bounds. It'll stay with the Warriors.
Yeah, great denial there on the wing. Good break for Eastern that Scarberry touched it because I think Luxon's going to have a foot on the sideline.
Dotson feed down to Dick. Dick lays it up and in off the glass.
Yeah, how good was that pass? Give Matthew Dick a lot of credit, the ability to hold that defender off there a little bit, but that was an outstanding delivery from Dotson.
Thacker to Scarberry. Far wing. Frecka 2, draw to him. Ball's poked away. Excellent defensive effort there from Eastern. Dotson slows down, picks it up, feed back to Cluxton, and he knocks down the 3-point shot. And that'll force a timeout. Full timeout here for Chesapeake, and we'll take it with them. You're watching Ohio High School District Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Welcome back in once again. Our postseason coverage presented in part by G&J Paving, serving Southern Ohio for over 30 years. And Centerpoint Church. Centerpoint believes in investing in the next generation and is proud to support high school sports across the region. Visit centerpoint.church for service times and more information. Centerpoint Church.
Yeah, last possession, tried to go down low. Brecka draws the double team. Scarberry on the basket cut. Probably had an opportunity. Ball gets poked away, and we've seen Cluxton in some big moments this year really fill it up. That three-pointer on the other end. Now all of a sudden in a game like this, 6 points feels bigger. This is what I was talking about at the half. It was going to go one way or the other, right? If Eastern's able to play out in front, this could start to get Chesapeake into a little bit of a hurry. Maybe they force a little bit. So if you're Chesapeake, you got to understand there's a lot of basketball to play. Yes, you want to force tempo and you want to continue to do some of the things that you want, but you got to make sure that it's under control and that you get the looks that you're wanting to get.
And this run has really showed the depth and the balance so far from Eastern this season, and just really everyone having a hand in that run.
It does, and it also shows their maturity and their willingness to play through physicality. I've seen them almost meet that challenge as well as anybody I've seen down here at the combo.
Thacker feed to Scarberry. He pulls the three, too strong. Kane Dotson will haul in the rebound.
Yeah, you always want to execute out of the huddle there and unable to do so. Now Eastern with the basketball, chance to add to the 6-point advantage.
Vance drive, Vance Euro step, puts it up, can't find it off the glass, hauls in his own miss. Feed down, Matt Dick lays it up and in off the glass.
Matthew Dick from Braxton Vance.
Thacker drives in, puts it up, no call. Carter Cluxton with the rebound.
Yeah, that's where you're starting to get them baited into getting in a hurry a little bit. Now it's Eastern into the open court.
Vance can't find it, but Matthew Dick on the follow.
Matthew Dick
extends the lead to 10 for the Warriors.
Yeah, outstanding job by Eastern, just understanding the opportunity they have with the momentum on their side right here.
Matthew Dick with 10 points and 7 boards on the night. Kazee feeds over to Perkins. Perkins fight over Scarberry. His mid-range jump shot in off the glass.
Yeah, much needed basket. Just stop the bleeding momentarily. Give Perkins a lot of credit. Finding him there to set him up.
Pinkerton finds a lane, can't finish, but Matthew Dick once again on the follow.
Yeah, he's starting to take the game completely over. Has 8 here in the quarter, 12 on the night, 8 rebounds, and he's been a factor down low on both ends.
Perkins pass around to Kazee. Kazee can't find it. Kane Dotson takes the rebound out of the hands of Carson Frecka, and just what effort here so far in the third. Cluxton fakes, drives in, loses his dribble. Ends up in the hands of Dennis Scarberry. What a job to stay with it.
How good was that?
Perkins, Euro lays it up. He'll be blocked. Matt Dick with another rejection.
Really good move with the advantage there on the inside, but again, just not going to be a lot of free throw shot in the game. That's kind of been established, so you just got to pick and choose when you're going to go on the attack.
Eastern slowing it down here. Cluxton hop step, tries to find somewhere to go with the ball. Gets it to Cluxton, handoff Pinkerton. Pinkerton drives in, lays the floater up and in. And we'll get another full timeout here from Chesapeake, and once again, we'll take it with them. You're watching Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC.
Warriors coming out of the half on a hot streak. 13-3 run to start the third quarter for the Eastern Brown Warriors.
Yeah, and basically it's just been to me, what jumps out at me is it's been Eastern's ability to just sense when to go, when to hold up, and they've been in just complete control of the tempo. They've been extremely physical at the rim on both ends, and they're winning that battle. And as a result, as you highlighted there at the half, they had the big advantage on the glass, and they've really been winning a lot of those physicality parts of the game, and as a result, they've been able to dictate tempo, and now playing with the 12-point advantage, have Chesapeake in a serious hole.
Matthew Dick, 8 points in the quarter. He's been killing it so far for the Warriors. Thacker fakes the handoff, tries to find the cutting Kazee. Kazee fake, spins around, loses the ball. And they'll get Kazee for his third.
Yeah, great defense of the back door, and then as he went to make his move, and then on the bump, you go ahead and go to the floor, and it puts a lot of pressure on the official, and as a result, you get the third foul there on Kazee.
Something to look out for the rest of this contest. Full court pressure here from the Panthers. Vance tries to dribble through two, gets it over. Cluxton. Florence crosses over. And Dotson will pull it back out for the Warriors.
Yeah, notice the spacing. Notice how strong they are with the ball on every catch.
Florence attacks the hand, can't find it. We'll have a travel.
Yeah, they both came down the ball together, and the official recognized that once the traffic kind of allowed him to get a better look at it. Both teammates ended up coming down with the ball at the same time.
Yeah, I was going to say a little bit of friendly fire there.
Fire might be a good way to describe the overall physicality in this one.
Scarberry has it top of the key, feed to Perkins, near side wing. Crosses over, hop step, drives in, lays it up. Can't find the roll. Carter Cluxton hauls in his 8th board of the night.
Yeah, another good move, just unable to finish.
Vance near wing, Chapman on him, tries to attack him, lays it up, and finds the roll.
That's 2 for Braxton Vance.
Yeah, Eastern threatening to kind of really space out in this one. Chesapeake much in need of some offense.
Chapman goes to work, Chapman lays it up, and finishes through contact. He'll go to the line for a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, big time move from the sophomore there. Remember, he hit the 3 early in the game. That time he gets to his strong hand, which is the left hand, and able to finish through the contact.
On the court, Sam Raymer, Matthew Dick.
We'll see Raymer and Dick check back in for Eastern.
Andrew Isaacs into the Panthers.
As well as Andrew Isaacs for Chesapeake.
Going to try to probably pick up the pressure, and the thought there is maybe protect Kazee from getting that 4th.
Chapman's attempt. Can't find it. Pinkerton hauls in the board, and he'll take it up for the Warriors.
Now with the type of pressure Chesapeake's going to bring, it may be tough to hold at the full 50 seconds. So Eastern, there they go on the attack.
What a job by Raymer, just finding a lane, crossing over, and laying it up and in. Thacker drives, Thacker. Chapman over to Perkins. He'll pull it out for the Panthers. Screen from Chapman, Dick on him, he'll drive in, he'll attack the mismatch, put it up, can't connect. On the follow, Philip Thacker lays it in.
Philip Thacker.
Good extra effort, get back within 12. Now Peak needs a stop here to end the quarter.
Timeout.
Coach Buechler will call the timeout as the full court pressure was intensifying. 30 seconds will stay here, and just what a third quarter it's been so far for the Warriors.
Yeah, outstanding. And in that situation there, he probably doesn't love using the timeout, but he's got a bunch of them left. He probably understands that his team's dominated the third quarter. The last thing you want to do is wake the sleeping giant, so to speak, here by giving Chesapeake an easy one on a steal or something there. So he uses it, make sure that everybody's in the right spot, because Chesapeake's also going to have possession to start the fourth quarter. So if you're Eastern here, you want to really take care of the basketball in the backcourt. Then if you can get aggressive going to the rim, maybe on a drive or a kick out, try to see if you can add to your 12-point advantage here with something at the buzzer.
So with 8.9, Eastern will have the ball. Pinkerton cuts through 2. Pinkerton trying to find somewhere to go with the ball. Cluxton has it. Cluxton over to Florence. Florence long range 3 off the glass. 35-23 after 3. We'll cut to a break. You're watching Ohio High School Boys Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Swing and a liner to left field. Paints will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
Chillicothe paints. Season creeping up soon. Tickets on sale now. Go ahead, check it out. You're a baseball guy, Shane, and just an excellent environment there at the VA Memorial Stadium.
Well, it really is. And when you talk baseball, this is the perfect time of year when the weather starts to change. You always think a little bit of baseball, but you always also think about basketball tournament time, right? And these are the types of matchups that you can't wait for all year long. You get on this stage in Chesapeake. When you look at what they were a step shy of the Final Four a year ago, and to come back with a high expectation. And that's why when you run into an Eastern here today, and Eastern gets out to this kind of spot, the pressure starts to mount up a little bit. A lot of winning in that Chesapeake uniform. you know they're going to come at you here. If you're Eastern, you got to be able to match that here in the first couple minutes.
Perkins under the basket. He'll step out.
I think they called the foul there on the pass.
They will. They'll get Sam Raymer on the foul.
It's the first of the quarter.
Kazee handles underneath, gets it to Thacker. Near side corner, down Kazee. Thacker to Perkins, back to Thacker. Zone look here once again for the Warriors. Frecka's trap baseline, gets it to Barker. Barker tries to lay it in off the glass, can't connect. Effort there by Thacker, what a job. Hall's in the offensive board, out to Perkins. Perkins three, knocks it in.
Yeah, all about the effort of Thacker on that possession. It had been really easy for him to quit on that. It had been the Eastern ball going the other way. Instead, he gets the possession, and Perkins hits a three.
First team all-district selection, cuts it to single digits. Pinkerton tries to find Dick. Ball's poked out of bounds. Off of Thacker, it'll stay Eastern basketball.
Good activity there. Chesapeake's going to use the pressure to try to pick it up a little bit. Eastern's been up to the challenge all day. Certainly don't want to start taking the air out of the ball 7 minutes to go, so you want to stay aggressive when you beat the pressure, but you want to make good decisions.
Pinkerton handling the inbounds. Almost in coffin corner he was.
Where the versatility of Eastern, where they have so many different guys that can handle the basketball, becomes such a weapon in the time and score.
They'll get Barker on the foul. Probably his fourth.
I've watched Eastern 2 or 3 times this year where they've kind of fallen into this fourth quarter trap where they're a little unsure. Are we going to run the clock, or are we going to stay aggressive and attack? And today, Chesapeake might dictate a little bit of that because of how much they're going to really start to crank up the pressure.
Pinkerton tries to get it into Vance, and they'll get a foul on Thacker.
Yeah, just his first. Good denial there.
Team second.
I think they got him with the trail arm, kind of going down low on the offensive player on the contact.
Pinkerton gets it into Dotson. Off the screen from Matt Dick. Dotson finds space, feeds down to Dick. Dick will lay it up, can't connect. Philip Thacker hauls in the board and he'll push. Philip Thacker lays it up, can't find it. Pinkerton hauls in the board, trying to find a way to get the ball. Gets it to Raymer. Raymer feed down Dotson. Eastern with numbers. What a pass. Intercepted.
Yeah, what a big time play from Kazee that was. He just snatched it right out of the air, saved the layup.
Perkins three-pointer in and out. Unlucky roll there for the senior.
Yeah, chance to cut it to 6. That one goes all the way down and comes out.
Crossing over Dotson, feed to Dick. Dick puts it up. Frecka with nice defensive effort there to affect the shot.
And again, defensively, your best bet is to go ahead and challenge every shot at the rim, force the whistle, don't give any easy one.
Perkins top of the key, down at Kazee. Back to Perkins. Thacker. Kazee pulls the 3, too short.
Great
Cluxton
box
hauls
out.
in the rebound.
I believe that was Dotson with good inside position.
Tries to get it to Raymer, can't. Intercepted by Perkins. Perkins, Euro step off the glass, can't connect.
Multiple layup opportunities for Chesapeake. They've done everything they've needed to do here in the early going except convert at the rim and just simply lay the ball in.
Eastern Brown.
Buechler will want to talk it over with his team. Full timeout, and we'll take it with him. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
5:13 left to play here in the contest as Eastern trying to hold on to their 35-26 lead to claim their first district championship since 2010.
A big thing I'd be talking about here in the Eastern huddle is you can't hang your point guards out to dry. A lot of times throughout the course of the year, Eastern recognizes off of defensive rebounding or whatever that they like to go. In this particular matchup, yes, you like to go, but you got to know, miss or make, that Chesapeake's going to crank up the pressure. You can't leave. You got to make sure you come back. Even on the misses, you've got to make sure that you have somewhere to outlet the basketball. And on these side out of bounds throughout the next 5 minutes, don't take for granted. It's not going to always be easy to get it in.
Ball's poked away off of Pinkerton. Once again, an excellent defensive effort from Dennis Scarberry.
Yeah, Scarberry's trying to give them a spark here, and now on the offensive end, they've got to cash in. They've had a 3 go all the way in and come down, and then they've had 2 missed layups. So during this little spurt where they're trying to steal some momentum back, they've had plenty of chances. So if you're Chesapeake, it's all about keeping the tempo up and give yourself the maximum opportunity to get back in it.
Back in the zone here are the Warriors. Barker feed over to Perkins. Perkins wide open 3, knocks it in. Perkins cuts it to 6.
Yeah, just got to be more aware of where he's at. He's the one offensive player that's kind of had that look in the eye there a little bit. They got to travel on the turnover. That's not our scoreboard. The Convo scoreboard just kind of had a little glitch. They'll get the score corrected there, but yeah, what a great spurt here from Chesapeake as they go. I believe it should be 35-29.
Should be 35-29.
So I think they're working on it there at the scores table. If I remember right, it was the 9-point advantage coming out of the huddle, and then Perkins hit the 3. So great.
We do have the correct score.
Lou, sweet Lou calming the Peak faithful down there a little bit. There you go. So right off of that, you get the turnover. So if you're Chesapeake, over the last probably 3 or 4 minutes, you've really been able to pick the tempo up a little bit here. Now if you're Eastern, you've got to answer that. You knew that they were going to come at you with this run. It's all about answering it and finishing the game.
4:40 left to play here in the contest. Panthers trying to fight back to return as district champions as Perkin offline for his second attempt from 3.
Yeah, a little deep, but he's certainly been feeling it today.
Scarberry once again. Referee will say it was off of him, but still, what effort there from Dennis Scarberry.
Yeah, bang, bang call, and that's as good of official as we have in the area, so it's you'll go with his opinion, but man, Scarberry's been an incredible spark here to his team defensively.
Kane Dotson will cross the half-point court line, feed back, Vance.
Nice job of handling the pressure. Now, if you're Eastern, I think you still want to stay aggressive against the pressure defense.
They'll get Kazee. That'll be his 4th foul.
Yeah, that's been a factor all day. It's certainly hurt his ability, or I should say inability, to get involved in the game. It's just been in and out in terms of that. It's still looking for his first point.
We'll see Philip Thacker check back in for him. Eastern will inbound with 3:59 left to play in the contest. Gets it into Florence. Tight pressure from Caden Perkins, or Barker, excuse me. Pinkerton drives in, hop step, lays it up, can't finish but a foul.
That's what I'm talking about, staying aggressive here. You see it a little bit more.
Number 24, Philip Thacker, that's his second.
Officials become a little bit more willing to call a couple of those later in the game. Early in the game, you see how physical it is. It's just a bloodbath at the rim. As the game goes on, a lot of times you'll see the willingness to give you that call. Stay aggressive, get to the free throw line and convert here. This is a great way for Eastern to kind of withstand this late Chesapeake push.
As Pinkerton knocks in the first. Pinkerton converts on both. First team all-district selection was Chase Pinkerton. Perkins drives in, stops, feeds out Thacker. Thacker will pull the far wing, 3. In and out.
Big time rebound there in traffic.
Tight full court pressure here, and they'll get a 10-second call.
And that's what we talked about, not leaving in the backcourt. You had the good rebound, and you got it out, but you got to be able to get more help back to get that ball up the court. Perkins has been the one guy that seems to be in the best flow offensively. Got to be able to get Kazee and Thacker going as well.
Kazee drives, puts up the floater, can't finish. And they'll get Barker on the foul, and that'll be his 5th.
Matthew Dick has just been unbelievable here today in terms of the physicality he's played with down low. That's his 10th rebound of the game. His ability to wrap up possessions and play through incredible contact. 12 points to go with it. Can't say enough about how good he's been.
First team all-district selection, Matt Dick will go to the line. Already a double-double on the night.
We always say not every rebound's created equal. When you see a stat sheet at the end of the day, those types of rebounds right there are every bit as big as any point that you score in terms of just being able to deliver for your team.
As he knocks down the first.
So the good news for Eastern is you kind of survived that first push that was coming from Chesapeake. Chesapeake got it all the way back to within 6, had plenty of chances to be even.
Matthew Dick gets the roll on the second. Makes it a 40-29 Eastern lead.
Now if you're Eastern, you got to expect one more push from Chesapeake, and if you can withstand it, you're going to get out of here with the big win.
What a shot. Caden Perkins.
Said it a second ago, Perkins seems the one guy that has the look in his eye today where he's going to go down firing.
Feed over, corner 3, thought about it, won't take it.
Yeah, good decision, stay spaced, spread the court.
That underneath, no contest, and lays it in.
Yeah, what a mature possession that was from Eastern. A lot of experience, great execution.
Perkins crosses over, lays it up, can't find it. Florence kick up to Dotson. And Dotson will pull it out. And they'll get Scarberry on the foul.
Dennis Scarberry.
Yeah, great court awareness from Dotson. Keeps the dribble low. Understands time and score.
At the stripe. Double.
Free throw line is going to be a big, big factor for Eastern here over the last 2:16.
Dotson's first free throw, unlucky roll, and Dotson only averaging 3.1 points per game. It just does an excellent job facilitating for his team on offense.
Yeah, it just goes way beyond the scoring. It's the ball handling, it's the decision making, the assist, low turnover.
As Dotson knocks in the second.
Chesapeake's got to go with some tempo here, all about getting as many possessions as possible.
Perkins drives baseline. Perkins with the reverse, lays it up, can't connect high off the glass. We'll get a foul on the floor.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times today where Chesapeake's been driving hard to the rim.
That'll be Frecka's second.
Looking for the whistle and just maybe not getting the eyes on the target there enough. Just haven't been able to finish, and give Eastern a lot of credit. Been able to do such a good job on the glass to limit opportunities.
Pinkerton's first free throw rolls out.
Andy Chapman coming back on the floor.
We'll see Andy Chapman check back in for Carson Frecka.
Eastern made their first 4 free throws here in the fourth quarter, but only one of their last 3.
Second attempt, too strong. Philip Thacker pulls in the board down to Perkins.
2 minutes to the Sweet 16.
Perkins cross-court pass to Thacker. He'll pull the three. Can't find it. Ball's poked away. We'll get a foul on the floor. Be on Scarberry. His second.
Scarberry with his second.
So we'll see the Warriors return to the line.
That's Dotson going to the line. So they must have called the foul
Kane Dotson, double bonus.
a little bit later than I thought. Matthew Dick, I thought that was his 11th rebound, and then he got hammered and the ball came loose. Maybe even statistically they say he didn't even have control of it.
Dotson can't connect on the first. Second free throw up and good for the junior. Perkins pulls the three, knocks it down.
Triple.
What a timeout here from Coach Stephen Ader, and what play here so far from Caden Perkins to try to keep his team in it.
Well, we've mentioned that throughout the fourth quarter, that he's the one that looks like he's got the look in his eye. 20 points now, and if you're Eastern, you've got to recognize that. I know what the scouting report has said, you know, coming into the game and all day, when you think of a player of the year like Maddox Kazee, and when you think of a player like Thacker. But from the way the game's unfolded, they just haven't been in that type of rhythm. I think you've really got to sell out on Perkins and make someone else make some perimeter shots down the stretch here.
1:36 left to play in the contest. Warriors holding a 43-34 lead over the Panthers.
Just unbelievable. If you're not familiar with these two teams, just trying to paint a picture for what Eastern's been able to accomplish here today. Maddox Kazee, player of the year, in the district, doesn't have a point, and he's been in foul trouble. Eastern's just been able to do an incredible job in limiting this high-power offense of Chesapeake.
Dotson gets it across half court. He'll be fouled. They're going to Isaacs. Maybe Isaacs first.
His first.
You know, throughout the week, a lot of people talking about this Eastern team being really, really good team, and they are, saying, well, maybe they're a year away or whatever, but, like, you know, why talk about a year away when the time is now? You know what I mean? Like, this is a really good basketball team, and this has been really impressive what they've been able to do. Still a long way to go here at a minute and a half. They've hurt themselves at the free throw line here over the last 2 minutes a little bit.
Dotson's second one rolls in and out. Thacker pulls out of Chapman. Chapman will pull the three. Too strong. Kazee with the rebound. Kazee blocked by Dick, but they'll call a foul.
What a big-time rebound that was from Kazee. And Kazee hasn't been the benefit of very many whistles today. Gets a chance to go to the free throw line here.
Kazee at the stripe, as you said, District 13 Player of the Year. Scored his 1,000th point earlier this season versus Lucasville Valley. He knocks in the first.
Maddox Kazee will have another. Andrew Isaacs back in, replacing Chapman.
This free throw here could cut it to 7. Look for Chesapeake to get into pressure and try to cause the backcourt turnover or go for the foul. Now Kazee's got to be aware of the 4 fouls. He can't be the one to give a foul.
As Kazee knocks in both. Pinkerton trying to find an inbound, and he'll get a timeout.
Timeout.
That was close. Good job of recognizing the count. Was getting probably up close to 4 and got the timeout.
Yeah, excellent effort there from the Panthers, and with 1:18 left, they really need a spark if they want to reclaim the district title.
Yeah, they really do. So again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to maximize your possessions, but at the same time, you're trying to create some skills in the backcourt. So the ball gets in. If you feel like you're in a good place to trap, maybe you play it out for 4 or 5 seconds to see if you come up with it. You're also talking about who you want to foul. So sometimes if the ball gets into that person's hands, you might as well go ahead and take the foul and save as much clock as possible. Eastern, one of the few things they've done poorly here today is down the stretch here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. They haven't been real efficient at the free throw line, so it's kind of left the door ajar a little bit. Instead of this game being about 11 on the scoreboard right now, it's 7, and it's kind of just keeping it just interesting enough to see if Chesapeake has one more push in it.
So if you're Coach Buechler, what are you going over with your team in this timeout?
Ball security. Don't be afraid of the moment. Go to the basketball. Catch it strong. Pivot strong. Possession arrow in our favor. A jump ball doesn't hurt us, but we can't get sloppy with the basketball. A 5-second, 10-second call doesn't kill us. We don't love it, but we can't have a live ball turnover where Chesapeake's laying the ball in. So you're just reminding your guys of all those fundamentals, and now it's time to execute.
We'll see Kazee guarding the inbounder, sitting on 4 fouls. Gets it into Florence. Tight pressure from Isaacs. Ball's on the floor. Scarberry. Kazee on the drive, puts it up, and he'll be fouled. Dennis Scarberry, what a defensive effort this evening so far for the junior.
Outstanding recognition by Chesapeake. My guess is in the scouting report, Florence is not a guy you want to foul. Give Eastern credit for getting him the ball. So then what you do is you play through it a little bit and try to cause a turnover. They're able to poke it free. Now, if you're Chesapeake, you've got to be able to convert from the line. It's got to be nearly perfect to be able to make this type of comeback.
First free throw front iron. So see Carter Cluxton check back into the game. So the original starting lineup back on the floor for the Warriors.
Yeah, still a chance to cut it to 2 possession here. If he does miss it, Eastern's got to be able to rebound it.
Second attempt. Nothing but net for this junior. Dotson gets it across half court, feed down Dick. Dick off the glass and in.
What a big-time play by Dotson that was. We talk about his value and where it comes from.
See Perkins, they'll call it on the floor. Tried to haul it up to get maybe a chance of a shooting foul.
Yeah, not a bad foul to give there. Had one to give. Get the ball out of Perkins' hands again. I would not want Perkins getting a look here. He seems to be in really good rhythm today. I try to force someone else to take the perimeter shot.
First team all-district selection, Perkins sitting on 20 tonight. The district player of the year, can't connect on the 3. Isaacs will foul Vance and they'll return to the line.
Yeah, good job of forcing the really deep 3. Good inside position for the box out.
To the line, double bonus.
Chance to bring it to double digits for Eastern. As the senior's first free throw rolls in and out. Vance, a guy we've seen play big minutes for the past few years for this Eastern team.
Yeah, been a real nice leader here. Brings that senior leadership and very valuable member of this Eastern squad.
Second free throw up and good for Vance. As earlier this season we saw Vance ice it at the free throw line early season against Fairfield. Thacker turns around, puts it up, can't finish. Vance will be fouled immediately. He'll go back to the line.
Yeah, and it's kind of been the story of the game. Chesapeake been able to get to the rim quite a bit, not finishing at the efficiency we've been accustomed to seeing. I think a lot of that credit has to go to the size, physicality of Eastern, and then their ability to rebound it more times than not, led by Matthew Dick, who's sitting on the, 18.11 rebound performance as of now.
Vance knocks in the first. On Dick, you'd add in a few blocks on there too. He's just done such a good job under the basket, just protecting the rim tonight.
Yeah, he really has.
Vance, the senior's free throw. Can't connect. Ball will roll out of bounds. They'll say off of Cluxton, so it'll be Panther basketball with 39 seconds left to play in the contest.
And again, if you're just tuning in today as a basketball fan and you're not familiar with the season these two teams have had, I struggle to even put into words how incredible it is to hold this Chesapeake team to 37 points as of now.
Perkins step back, gets it rid of Thacker. Thacker's 3, can't connect. They'll foul Vance once again. He'll go to the line.
Eastern crowd right here on our side. They can start to feel it, can't they? Starting to really get into it here. One of the great fan bases in our coverage area. They love their basketball in the Shack.
Eastern Brown 12-7 all time here at the Convo in district play. As Vance's first free throw up and good.
Braxton Vance will have another.
As you said, Eastern crowd on their feet. Hopeful to claim their first district title since 2010. As Vance knocks down both. Perkins dots on him, drives in, puts it up off the glass, can't connect. Ball will roll out of bounds. They'll say off the Warriors. It'll stay with the Panthers. Feed in, corner three, near side, and knocks it in.
Triple. Caden Perkins.
Caden Perkins, never say die. 23 points on the night.
Yeah, fourth three-pointer here in the second half, 6th overall. He's been the one guy that's been able to find the offense today, but that's been about it. In terms of the front line, that's usually really dominant for Chesapeake. Only 3 for Kazee, only 5 for Thacker, only 5 for Frecka. So if you're Eastern, even with Perkins kind of getting off of that 23 points there, I think you'd probably sign up for that overall total. Well, I mean, I know you'd sign up for 40. I mean, goodness, they average probably almost 70.
Perkins, a player that might get overlooked sometimes with the talent around him, but just such an awesome player, 1,000-point scorer and 3-year starter. We saw him down at Jackson 3 years ago, starting against Ironton in the playoffs, and in a game where a few players fouled out, he picked up the slack and tried to will his team to victory.
Well, you know what happens too, it's an awesome point you're making there, is we don't appreciate how talented some of these guys are because there's one ball to go around. There'd be some offenses where Perkins throughout a career would be a 2,000-point scorer.
They'll foul Cluxton. 11.5 left to play in the contest.
Dennis Scarberry with his 5th personal foul.
And look, this is going to be a tough one to swallow there for Chesapeake, with what the expectations were. They were a step shy of the Final Four a year ago and was returning everything. So you come up short here on the district final stage. It's going to hurt in this moment, but when you step away and you look at it big picture, you're really going to be able to appreciate the amount of winning that this group has done. And obviously this will be one that drives Kazee into the offseason, the player of the year, just a junior. Don't sleep on Chesapeake next year. They're still going to be really sleepy good. We've started to see the depth come on this year, and some of those guys are going to have increased roles in the next year.
Yeah, and an excellent group of seniors here for Chesapeake. As Cluxton can't find either. Perkins pulls the three off the screen from Chapman. Too strong. Ball will roll out of bounds, and that'll about do it with 1.7 left to play. The Eastern faithful on their feet can feel it in the air.
Colton Huffman coming on the floor, along with Logan Clay and Jaden Washington.
Chesapeake just going to use some subs to have some seniors sub out to allow his fan base to show their appreciation for what I was just talking about in terms of how much winning they've done throughout their career, and the high IQ of the Chesapeake fan base, recognizing what the coach is doing there and getting to their feet, and rightfully so. Boy, have they done a lot of winning.
So with that, the Eastern Warriors win their first district championship since 2010, and you can see it in the players' emotions. They can feel it. What a moment this is for Eastern Brown as they'll return to the Convo.
What an incredible performance. If you'd have told me that Eastern could come in here and hold this team to 40 points today, I don't know if I'd have been totally buying it. I thought they could slow them down, but that is phenomenal. The ability to bring the physicality and the toughness required to guard them for 32 minutes and only give up 40 points. Wow.
49-40 Warrior victory, as you could see it in the players and the crowd. Emotions heavy here. We'll cut to a break, and when we're back, we'll give you the trophy presentation. You're watching the Division 5 District Finals on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Swing and a liner to left field. Pates will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
Colton Huffman. Jacoby Malone. Logan Clay. Jonas Washington. Jaden Washington. Garrett Grayling. Andrew Isaacs. Man who single-handedly brought the business in front, party in back, Dennis Scarberry. Big Andy Chapman. Carson Frecker. The very solid Philip Thacker. John Cooper Parker. Mattis Kazee. New man who left everything out on the court, your high point man for the afternoon, Caden Perkins. Head coach Steve Ader and his staff. Been a solid season for the Panthers. Always great to see them back in the Convo. Your district runner-up trophy to the seniors of the Chesapeake Panthers. And now, with Jared Daughtry and Kara Pinkerton, your district champions, the Warriors of Eastern Brown. As I call your name, please come forward. Jace Jennings. Dalton Day. Corbin Florence. Henry Foba. Sam Kirk. Jaden Florence. Your first man off the bench, Sam Raymer. Kane Dotson. Chase Pinkerton. Carter Cluxton. In the paint, Braxton Vance. And with a double-double for the afternoon, Matthew Dick. Head coach Rob Buechler and his staff. District Championship hardware goes to the Warriors. They're going to the Sweet 16.
You can hear it in the crowd. It means so much to these Eastern Brown fans that their team is moving on. 49-40 victory this evening.
I can't stress enough how impressive what we just watched really is from a basketball standpoint. You come in and the first thing you have to be willing to do is meet the athleticism and physicality, and boy did Eastern do that. On the rebounding total, they double them up, 46 to 23. Chesapeake only shoots at 25% from the floor. The official stats have Eastern for 36 defensive rebounds, Chesapeake for just 5 offensive rebounds, and that's just incredible when you think of the size and athleticism of this Chesapeake team. Obviously, Perkins got loose there a lot in the fourth quarter. He was 6 of 11 from the three-point line for 23 points, but the job they did on Maddox Kazee today was a special effort. Held him without a field goal. He hit 3 free throws for only 3 total points, and so there's just so many different things that add up to a complete game for Eastern. And congratulations to them. Can't tell you how impressive that was in terms of 32 minutes of basketball.
While we have a chance, just want to congratulate the seniors from Chesapeake on what has been an excellent career. Whether it be Caden Perkins, who you said going off all night, laying it all on the floor. John Cooper Barker, Philip Thacker, Carson Frecka. That group has just done so much winning here at Chesapeake.
They really have, and they put their mark on what's a very storied program. And you think of a year ago, you're just shy of the Final Four, and you come up a game short. You come back high expectations, and listen, you ran into a matchup today where a team had the proper game plan. They had the proper personnel to execute that game plan, and they got you. And that's the reality of the one-and-done format. And so, but I agree with you. I think the guys you just read off there will forever be remembered for a lot of success representing the purple and white. And for a player like Kazee, it's already had a Hall of Fame level career. He's got a whole another year left. This is going to drive him. He's going to come back. There's a lot coming back with him. And so don't be surprised when our SOSA coverage returns to the Convo next year if we're right back down here calling Chesapeake again.
While we have a chance, just want to thank our sponsors, our presenting sponsor, Ohio Health, our tournament sponsors, G&J Paving, Centerpoint Church, Nice Auto, and our all-season sponsors, Glockner, Glow Fiber, The Root Sport and Fitness, Tomlinson Insurance, Willie & Son Trucking, Chillicothe Comfort, Rathkamp Financial, Schmidt Family of Restaurants, Chillicothe Truck, Hometown Auto, North Fork Animal Clinic, Kingston National Bank, the Chillicothe Paint, SOSA the Dugout, and our show sponsors who haven't got to have a show due to our coverage, both the Haynes Total Healthcare Center and Perfection One. Once again, 49-40 victory here today as the baskets belong to the Warriors. They'll move on to the regional semi to face the winner of our next contest between the Wheelersburg Pirates and the Ironton Fighting Tigers. We'll have that on stream, so don't miss it. We'll be live shortly after this. Once again, you've watched Ohio High School Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.